Hello students. So in this presentation we discussed aphorisms from 280 to 282. So in aphorism 280, Hahnemann tells us about signs of improvement, that is patient is in the direction of cure. So what happens? The similimum with its correct dose does not produce new symptoms. So if it is a similimum, it will not produce any new symptoms. There is a general improvement first. So please note that the improvement starts in the general symptoms of the patient. General symptoms means mental generals and physical generals. Like his appetite starts improving, his weakness starts decreasing, and the feeling of freshness, feeling of health starts appearing in the patient. Return of old symptoms indicates real cure. If there is history of any eruptions in the past and they return back, it indicates the old symptoms are returning, that is real cure according to Hering's law. This is achieved by gradual ascending of moderate doses modified by succussions described in 247th aphorism. So each dose is modified by succussions. So this is a good way of prescribing of similimum, gradual ascending of moderate doses. So this now indicates vital principle no longer needs to be affected by similar medicinal disease. Means now there is no need to give similimum as the symptoms are returning back, that is old symptoms return back is a sign of cure. That means there is now no need to give similimum to lose the sensation of natural disease. So the feeling of the symptoms, the disease symptoms which the patient is feeling now start disappearing. So there is no need of medicinal disease produced by similimum. Hence no need to give any further similimum. It shows that vital principle is free from natural disease and now under the control of medicinal disease. So that is called as medicinal disease is nothing but similar artificial disease. So we already know that if the patient is having the increase of his symptoms, it is known as homeopathic aggravation, which occurs because of higher dose which is given than the required, but it is not seen in all cases. So the signs of improvement are the patient starts feeling better in the general symptoms and old symptoms start appearing. This will prevent the further administration of the similimum. And cure is achieved by gradual ascending of moderate doses modified by succussions. So every dose is slightly higher as it is described in aphorism number 247. So we go further. Aphorism number 281. Give patient placebo during high dose of medicine. Renewed higher doses given to complete the cure. So after the similimum, give sacrum lactis or placebo for the time to wait for the medicinal disease disappear. So if you are given a high dose of the similimum, then you wait and don't repeat any further medicine and you wait by giving placebo to the patient. Give patient good hygienic conditions and during this time where no medicine but only sugar of milk, that is placebo, is given. No original disease is seen. Patient is cured. So how to manage the case? You give suppose a first dose of the similimum in high potency, then you give placebo in between to the patient for his psychological satisfaction, and no medicine is given in between this stage. So patient is cured when patient starts the signs of improvement as discussed in aphorism 280. So as long as the amelioration starts appearing, we don't repeat the medicine. If after few days morbid symptoms of original disease remain, then they are treated with the renewed higher doses of the same remedy. All of you know this. In the second prescription, the first variety is repetition of the first. So same is discussed. This point is discussed in this aphorism, that if the some morbid symptoms are remaining, then you give the higher dose of the same remedy. For cure to occur, the first small dose is to be gradually raised higher. So Dr. Henneman is saying that gradually you increase the dose for the treatment with the similimum. For cure to occur, the first small dose is to be gradually raised higher, but more slowly it is done in the patients with irritability. So those patients which are sensitive, hypersensitive, we do not repeat often, and we do not prescribe higher potencies also. But it is raised to higher potency rapidly in patients with less susceptibility. So there is no danger or no risk of aggravation. So in such patients, you can slowly raise to the higher dynamization of the similimum to effect the cure. So we go further. Aphorism number 282. If the dose is too large, first dose produces aggravation in the chronic diseases. This is called as homeopathic aggravation. This all of you know. If the dose was large of homeopathic medicine given for the treatment of chronic disease, homeopathic aggravation takes place. All of you know why this takes place, because it was a similimum and the dose, that is the strength or potency, was selected slightly higher than the required. But all of you know that the assessment of potency is done by assessment of susceptibility, which is a qualitative assessment. Hence sometimes it can happen that the dose selected is slightly higher than required. So what happens in homeopathic aggravation? Increase in the original symptoms of the patient takes place. By every repeated dose modified by shaking before administration. So this is one point which Dr. Henneman again tells us, that the next dose should be slightly higher, slightly modified by giving succussions before the administration of the remedy. So homeopathic aggravation is increase in the original symptoms of the patient. Means here try to understand there is no new symptoms produced in the totality. And just reminding you, the new symptoms are produced by the wrong remedy administered, which is called as medicinal aggravation. Now here the point is of homeopathic aggravation. If the dose is large, then it produces increase in the original symptoms of the patient. By every repeated dose modified, it is modified by shaking and giving succussions before the administration. Let's see the footnote. Footnote 1 says that commencement of homeopathic treatment in chronic miasmatic diseases. See here some different points are given by Dr. Hahnemann. So when it is a treatment of SORA, psychosis and syphilis. So you are treating the SORA, which is the patient is coming with the eruptions, or patient coming with the chancre, or patient coming with the condylomatous fig warts. Such patients require large doses of specific remedies in higher degrees of dynamization daily or several times daily. So Dr. Hahnemann is writing his observations in these footnotes. So next, see this. Excessive doses are given to treat these miasmatic diseases and it extinguishes the disease and not produce chronic medicinal disease. So Dr. Hahnemann here instructs us that physician no longer to fear of medicinal disease. There is no danger to fear of medicinal disease. So in such miasmatic chronic diseases, if you are treating, they require large doses to be repeated daily. But if given in such course of doses, does not produce the medicinal disease. So the aggravation is not to be feared. During external manifestations of these three miasms, that is the eruptions in SORA, chancre in syphilis and condylomatous, that is fig warts in psychosis, progress of the treatment can be judged by to what degree the large dose withdraws the sensation of disease from vital principle. So the progress of the treatment is judged by the what degree the large dose withdraws the sensation of disease from vital principle. So now you don't pay attention to this word large dose. So it is a simillimum in the potency required at what time the patient will start feeling better. So withdraws the sensation of disease means what? He starts feeling better. Most important is their disappearance makes the physician decide to stop the medicine. So the disappearance of the patient's disagreeable sensations, physician can decide to stop the medicine. Physician can claim that he has cured only by the disappearance externally. So first patient will start feeling better in his sensations, in his symptoms internally, and then he will be able to say that physician can say or claim that he has cured when the external symptoms disappear. So we go to the next discussion, same aphorism, footnote. In homeopathy, now see the difference is given of homeopathy and old school. In homeopathy, diseases are dynamic derangement of vital principle. It's not the material disease. So homeopathy does not consider the material disease, that is the palpable disease or visible disease is not the primary aim of homeopathy to consider it as disease. So homeopathy does not consider the materia peccans, means homeopathy does not consider disease in the form of the say ulcerative discharge or the otitis media discharge. So disease is not something material. Nothing material disease to take away. No material disease is accepted by homeopathy. So disease cannot be felt and palpated by homeopath. So just to complete further, where is the disease? The disease is before this pathology. So before this pathology occurs, the changes in the mental generals and physical generals, and they are invisible and they can be perceived. Perceived means can be understood, can be appreciated by the physician during case taking. And when the physician masters this type of case taking, it is called as art of case taking. So homeopathy does not believe on the disease as something material. So before the pathology, first there is affection of vital energy, and from there the disease begins. First in the invisible form and then in the visible form. So old school says it that since thousands of years treated the sick, made more sicker, they made the sick more sicker. The inimical dynamic influence affects the vital energy, expresses as external signs. These signs are visible as local external symptoms due to inner malignant. So malignant means evil effect of nature, that is inner malignant miasm. Miasm is, again I repeat, it is the morbid or faulty vital energy as the cause of disease, because there is nothing to be seen of miasm materially. It is the dynamic disease causing energy. So these symptoms, which are visible as local external symptoms due to inner miasm, they can only be cured by internal similar stronger medicine acting on vital energy. This medicine removes the abnormal sensations first, fail to life force, internal and external. So first it will remove the sensations internal and also remove the external symptoms. So external symptoms are visible. So there is removing or disappearance of internal abnormal sensations as well as external symptoms, and releases the life principle free from the attack of inimical miasm, and this is called as cure. So see the footnote discussion further. So each is internal symptom and eruption is the external symptom. So the point here is always the internal medicine will cure. So internal venereal miasm, venereal means in sexually transmitted diseases like gonorrhea and syphilis. If the external symptoms of gonorrhea, say condylomatous warts, or in gonorrhea purulent urethral discharge, and in syphilis chancre, if these external symptoms are removed by injections or by surgery, then the disease is not just cured but it is removed externally, and then it travels more internally, and this is nothing but venereal miasm. So internal venereal miasm and external symptom of is chancre of syphilis. They are cured by administration of internal homeopathic medicine only. Now here very important point, Dr. Hahnemann tells exceptional point. But for the figwort disease, which existed some time without treatment, For cure, external application and internal administration of specific remedy is needed. So only Dr. Hahnemann advises this in the case of figworts, the external application of thuja and internal administration of thuja as a specific remedy is needed. So this is Dr. Hahnemann's observations and his guidelines for the treatment of chronic miasmatic diseases. So we continue further. Thank you.